Mr. Kate here on a beautiful spring morning. You can hear in the background birds singing, chickens clucking. There's about to be a Rhodesian Ridgeback in the picture probably. Suka, what are you doing? Come here. Hey. She's just messing around. Come here. She's just messing around. See? Yes, it's me. I'm so cute. So while I'm sitting here, there are things in the homestead working. The chickens are out finding food for themselves, and when they need to lay an egg, they're going to go back in the coop and they're going to lay. We got 7 eggs yesterday, and we've been getting 7 eggs-ish as spring came. As the days grew longer and the sunlight was more each day, we get more eggs. The perennial plants that I've planted in the past are growing and showing themselves, and I'm going to do a video. I'm on a rock, so I've got to try to find a comfy place. I'm going to do a video on a springtime green that I had planted here and forgotten all about. That's edible, and you can even make flour from its seeds. So those are growing right now. Some of them are big enough to eat, and another thing I'm going to be doing with them very soon is putting them in the dehydrator. Clover is growing. The blackberry bushes are putting out their leaves. They're not going to fruit, though, until July. The walking onions are now putting the stalks up, and you can cut those stalks off and use them as just like green onions in your cooking. If I were milking that goat, she would be producing milk all last night, and then today in the morning I would milk her. What is the point of that? The point of that is this. A farmstead, a homestead, hums along, and you don't want to have everything that's happening on your homestead be needing your direct attention and intervention, right? And I thought about people in their modern lives, and I thought they don't have an equivalent to that, to something being productive while they're not really paying attention to it. And then I thought, oh yeah, they do. Okay, so modern life has made it so that you can make a cup of coffee by programming your coffee maker to come on at a certain time and to turn off at a certain time. You can have your television set recording your favorite TV shows. What else can you do? You can have an alarm set to like raise your shutters in your bedroom at a certain time of day and night, and pretty soon when they make smart houses, your smart house will start taking up some of the slack where, you know, if you're short on something in your refrigerator, the smart house will note that and then send an electronic order to something like the Amazons for, let's just say, your favorite yogurt, and then the little drone is going to deliver it to your house. So the modern world has their equivalent to the homesteading world's multitasking going on at all times. Why is the homestead better? Okay, in my opinion, the homestead is better because if the power goes out, none of the things we were talking about in the modern world work. Not only that, in the modern world, you still have to have intervention. You still have to put some coffee thing in the coffee maker for the coffee maker to work, and you still have to program the microwave to go on at a certain time. The smart house will do all that for you if you have one, but the smart house is also going to be linked to the bigger wide world. And things like the lock on your front door is going to lock you out of your house when you have a ticket that your smart car knows you got because the police officer scans your ID card or enters your ticket into a computer, and when the computers are all linked, they can lock your front door until you go pay that ticket. Or they can make sure that goes out to the airline, so if you planned on taking a trip somewhere, you can't take that trip until you pay that ticket. Now, do I think people should not pay tickets? Of course, I'm not saying that. I think you should pay your ticket. If you are guilty of doing something wrong, pay the price for it. That's how the world works. You know, you do something wrong, there's a price. You do something right, there's a reward. It's trying to be a modern thing for, I did something wrong, I get rewarded for it, but that just means the more wrong behavior gets told good job, and then people keep doing wrong. And because I've done a video on this, We are in a closed system, so there are limits. We cannot let something like wrong keep going. There is a lot of payback and retribution for that kind of thing. Anyway, I'm way off, so let me get back to my original point. Homesteading is really good because if the power goes out, the chickens are still generating eggs. The goat is still producing milk. And the goat will live off of the weeds and the grass around us. If for some reason the hay production goes down, those goats can survive anywhere that has weeds. Same thing with the chickens. Yes, we can feed the chickens feed, organic feed you grow yourself, however you want to feed them. But if you don't feed them, they feed themselves. The only time you need to intervene with the chickens is at night to lock them up to make sure they're safe and to take care of them if they're sick or injured. And I've had chickens, oh my gosh, probably 20 years now. It's very seldom that they get sick or injured. It's not a huge tax on your time and your finances to have them. So, and when you have a garden going and an orchard going, your food production, if you use perennials, like these little cherry tomatoes that come up every year in my garden, you don't even have to plant. All you have to do is harvest. Simple, beautiful. Doesn't need a whole lot of your intervention. You can enjoy that peaceful and quiet life the Lord has promised you. And man, it's just nice. It's just nice not to have the stress. All right, I hope this encouraged you. Bless you. Shalom.